All right, I got a trade recap right here. This trade was from Friday, July 14th. It was the Friday following CPI and PPI. I only say that just because I might have this up the following week because I have some more videos that I want to get out first. But I just want to give you the why as to why I took this trade and, what was my approach the whole entire time as I was in it as well. So as you could see, we have the range set. So we had two large imbalance candles. I think it was 925 and 930. To the upside. We never retraced back into those, so for me, I'm not going to touch that, even though we did end up running crazy. There was no entry point for me, unless I was going to be a little more risky, and it's tough to do that with NASDAQ, with each point being worth $20. We moved well over 100 points today, so it can get on you pretty quickly, and that's why I just manage my risk that way. So range set, I would want price to drop back down into that golden pocket OTE, optimal trade entry, at the 0.62 fib to the 0.79, into a discount imbalance. So we have those two imbalances down there. I want it to drop into discount, which is below the 50% level. My whole game plan for this trade was to play the bounce and look for upside above the 50%. Now, I wouldn't want price to kind of get stuck on that 50% and kind of just chop around there. And that's why I was realistically looking to just play it up to that 50% level. And you'll see by the way I moved my stop. Once we got over that 50%, that's where I put my stop. And, I secured the profits that way. So, we also set a new range with this move down, which turned out to be telling as we kind of started to downturn a little bit. And again, that high that we reached, we got into an hourly imbalance right there. As you can see, rejected. We also took liquidity on a higher time frame. So I was looking for lower prices, but I did think as we have discount imbalances here that I could at least get a scalp out of it, and I did. So here is the trade right here. So as you can see, we are running now. All right, so off that bounce, see the entry is beautiful. When you could pick it right off the imbalance, look, we barely moved higher, and it's already up $230. So again, I'm looking towards the 50, and once I get up a decent amount, I feel comfortable with moving the stop in green. This trade can go completely against me. I'm still coming out green, especially off this 50%. That was what I was really watching right there. So what I was hoping for was this candle would end up moving higher quickly, so that we didn't have an imbalance form on the 5-minute. But you'll see in a second, we actually did form a bearish imbalance in a few ticks here. So again, we're right at the 50%. I'm kind of waiting this thing out. I want to see if it's going to come up and close in to the bottom of that candle right there, so there would not be a bearish imbalance. So as I see price getting closer and closer, I start to move my stop a little more this way. At this point right here, from 58 to 72, that's 14 points. That's good for $280 at the very minimum. And now we're still floating on the 50%. I crunch it down. I'm going to look at a 1 minute and see what's the most ideal place for my stop loss. These 1 minute candles right here are creating a bullish imbalance right here, very small. But I'm putting my stop loss right below that. So if that bullish imbalance slices through, I will then be able to stop out and take some good coin on that. So still waiting it out. It's kind of fighting itself. In this trade, I 2x speed. So I made it a little faster. That way, when I showed you guys, it wouldn't be as boring and wouldn't have to, I don't want to say sweat it out. It was pretty easy, but wouldn't have to wait here and listen to every second of detail. But all right, so currently we are up $695. I slide my stop again, and right there, right above that 50%, and price is running higher. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're gonna get that run back up. There are no imbalances. I was thinking at this point here, besides this one 5-minute imbalance that we're fighting with right now, and in a few seconds you're going to see that I throw on the bearish imbalance, I was thinking that if we could break through, come back down and retest this bearish imbalance right here as support. From that point on, I think we can go and sweep the highs. And if we were to sweep those highs, that would have been a 100 handle trade. That would have been worth $2,000. So, but again, I have to make sure that I'm taking money out of this trade. This is my first trade of the day, and I had to wait an hour and a half to take it because I was trying to be very patient after a really good week. So, but you see we're at the 5 minute. We very well could have closed right below that 5 minute imbalance right there. And as we're pulling back into it, I'm starting to think, okay, we're right at the 50%. Is this the move we're going to get where we just start to hover around 50? Which was very possible. But again, I figured if I move my stop up to here, I'm locking in 30 points regardless. And 30 points is $600. That's a decent trade any day of the week. Especially when it's 2 candles, 2 5-minute candles. It's 10 minutes. So you can't beat that. But of course, I do end up getting stopped right there. And again, with hindsight, this ended up going a little bit higher. But it did chop around a little bit. So it was, you know, I would have had to sweat it out. And that's the main thing I try to avoid. And this is just based on experience. The more you sit inside the trade and you start to sweat it out without taking the proper risk management and trusting your game plan, you're going to think. And I would say I'm a very disciplined trader, but the more I'm sitting in a trade and watching this thing chop back and forth, I just almost say, all right, I want to make sure I'm going to slide my stop up to the next low. And you know, I can manage it that way. But at this point here, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm moving it right to the low of that candle. I wouldn't really want it to go anywhere below the 50%. Could I have left it there? For sure. I probably would have given back another $70 to $80. So I wasn't really too cool with that. And again, first trade of the day, I wanted to lock it up. I had a great week. And you know, how many people are going to be mad at $600 in 10 minutes? I mean, that's good enough for me. But all right, that's all I got. Until next time. Just make sure you like, subscribe to these videos. I'll keep making them if you guys like them. And if you want anything specific, just hit me up. All right, see ya.